Hello YouTubers, this is Ed the Pirate's grand video debut here. This is my first video that I'm putting out, that actually has any meaning to it. And I'd like to say that I'm not capitalizing on the recent, events that have swept YouTube, this big ordeal. But that'd be false. That's pretty much what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm sure by now most of you already know the story about the Victoria Lindsay girl who the video. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you've been living under a rock, and there's not much I can do for you. Anyways, but before I go on that rant, I want to talk about something else, just because that's kind of leading up to what this video is about. I want to take you back a couple of years, back to when I was in elementary school, and you know what they told us a lot? They told us, I heard this a lot from different teachers and adults. They said, you are the future leaders of America. They said, you are the future leader. You and your friends are all the future. Sorry about that. The camera died, or the camera ran out of space, and it'll probably happen again. But what I was saying was, we heard this a lot, that we are the future leaders of America. And at the time that was really cool, because it was basically like, the way I saw it, we were sitting in the back seat of the American Mobile, and then one day we'd get to be in the driver's seat, and it was kind of a cool concept, I think. But then something started to happen, and it's still happening. Like, I don't think a lot of people have quite picked up on it yet. One, because I don't think older people, like the older generation, I don't think they really understand the changes, because it's not happening to them. They're not the target of it. And the younger generation, I don't think, to be honest, I don't think they really understand. Like me, I don't think my age group really understands what's going on either. Primarily because we're the target of it. But I see pretty clearly what's going on, and it's not good. There's a disease. It's a disease that's spreading. It really is a disease that's spreading, and I know I'm taking a long way around, but just bear with me, because I'm getting somewhere with this. But basically, it's infecting, and I don't know about other nations. I can't speak for other nations. I know about the United States. I don't have any experience outside of here. I don't know, how the youth of other nations is. But I know how the youth of this nation is, because I'm one of them. I see what's happening. And basically, what this disease is an idea, or a set of ideas that's infecting kids, and changing their ideas and distorting their views and their perceptions of reality. It's not good. It's really not. It's traveling through all sorts of different mediums, YouTube, MySpace, television, the radio, and I don't want to put YouTube and MySpace under the gun, because I don't think they're entirely to blame, and I use the phrase entirely because, no one can argue in the case of the Victoria Lindsay girl that they didn't play a role, or that they didn't help, is what I'm saying. And while we're on the topic, I'd like to talk a little bit more about the Victoria Lindsay beating, just because it is such a horrific story. But I think that pretty much anything that can be said about that story already has been. So I'm going to talk about another story that hasn't garnered nearly as much attention as the Victoria Lindsay story, but I personally believe that it deserves at least equal, if not more, attention. Basically, what had happened was, on April 3rd, 2008, a 10-year-old girl was playing on her school playground, an elementary school playground, with her 8-year-old sister. She was on the monkey bars, and apparently two other girls ages 10 and 11 approached the 8-year-old, and they splashed her with water. I don't know if it was a water gun or a water bottle or what. That's just what happened. And so the first 10-year-old girl told the other two girls to leave her little sister alone. You know, that's perfectly, you know, that's what any older sibling should do. And apparently the other two girls didn't appreciate being told no, because they grabbed the 10-year-old girl that was playing on the monkey bars. They dragged her off of the monkey bars, and they began stomping her head and hip and legs, and they basically, what happened was this girl had her hip crushed. She had 3 pins in place in her hip, and I don't know, it's so disgusting to even think about something like that happening, you know. And I was watching the report on the news, and they quoted the little girl to have said to her mom, "Mommy, I'm hurt," and that breaks my heart right there, to hear a little girl say that like that. I don't know this girl, but that makes me wish that it was my hip that was broken, you know, instead of hers. It was completely smashed. I mean, she can't walk. Like, how can you walk with a broken pelvis? They crippled this girl for life. They really did. And what's really infuriating about this story is that I was watching, or I was reading the article when I got home, because I saw this at a restaurant the other day. I was reading the article, and the attorneys claimed that the 2 children who were charged with the attack are too immature. They're too immature to understand the charges being put against them. And I was on the news article. I was watching this lady. She said that they're too young to understand that what they did was wrong, and they should be punished by given in-school detention. And that pisses me off. That really does. I mean, I can't give you an alternative, because my alternative would be a little politically not sane. I mean, my philosophy is an eye for an eye, but I can't say for sure when there's little girls involved. I just know that in-school detention, that's a joke. They crippled this girl for life, both physically and emotionally, and they're going to be punished with detention. That's a joke. But how I tie that into the Victoria Lindsay story is that's basically like the same argument that their defendants made for them, is that they're too young to be charged as adults, because they cannot understand the severity of what they did. And that right there is bullshit. That's straight up bullshit. I mean, you can't tell me that they did not understand that what they were doing was wrong. That's my 11-year-old sister. Even though she's too small to pose any real threat to anybody, I guarantee you 100%, you know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that she understands that what they did was wrong. And there's this other kid on YouTube. I'll post a link over here for one of his videos. But the kid looks, to me, he looks to be about 9 or 10. You know, excuse me if I'm wrong, but that's just what he looks like to me. But he made it very clear that he understood that what happened was wrong. It doesn't take a genius to understand that smashing somebody, you know, against a wall and making them lose consciousness, and continuing to beat on them with, you know, 6 girls versus 1, that it doesn't take a genius to know that that's wrong. You know, you just know that that's wrong. So I think, you know, I don't buy it for a second that they didn't understand the severity of what they did. They knew full and well what they were doing.